So in last class, till the basic components part has been discussed clearly. So now today we supposed to discuss on next level, and that too that is main and important topic, that is the web services. So actual we go into the deep onto this subject. Now we will try to understand this concept. What is web service and how it will work? What are the things we have to implement here? And what knowledge is required to do these kind of things in our coding? That we will see here. Okay. So first of all, web service. Web service is nothing but it is the communicator. So communicator between UI application and backend. Backend. Like for example, how this we can justify. See, in our Android, so this is the front user application. In our Android, whatever the operations we are doing here, so those operations it can be communicated to the server. Like for example, I want to register in some application. So if I want to register in an application, I'm collecting the data from user side, like username, password, email ID, mobile number, etc. Few details I have collected. Once I have collected those, that data I have to save somewhere. Means I have to save that data in a database. So I don't know where that database is available and where I have to save. I don't know as a mobile developer. Right. For the reason, what I'll do is I'll call one API call using the concept of web service, so that whatever the data here we send to through this web service API, that goes to the backend and it will save in a database, and it will give either it should be saved successfully, or the already the existing email ID or mobile number are already in the database. Means it will give either a positive or the negative response from the backend side it will give. So based on that response, here we will perform our next activities, right? That is the web service. But how to justify this? So this, with simple example, I'll explain you so we can understand that full concept of like how it is. For example, I'm in Hyderabad. Okay, I'm in Hyderabad. Here I have a one bangle store. So in Hyderabad, I have one bangle store. As of today, what I'm doing here, I'm buying the bangles here locally in Hyderabad itself, and I'm selling with 10% of profit. Okay, I'm selling with 10% of profit. But unfortunately, today I met one of my friends. So he said, you can buy bangles in a Bangalore, let us say some other XYZ location, let us say Bangalore. So then he said, you will get 30 to 40% of the margin. So I'm dependent on completely on this business. So definitely I'll get an interest to do such kind of things, right? So then for this, what we will do? So how can I buy? So there is a normally you can buy online or directly you can travel. But if it is a one item or two item, I can buy directly in online. But This is for shop purpose. I want to buy the items on a bulk. So that is the reason I have planned to travel from Hyderabad to Bangalore. Okay, let I travel from Hyderabad to Bangalore. Okay, now I reached in Bangalore. Then I entered into the shop and I'm asking to show the bangles for my shop purpose. That I'm asking in Telugu. So that I'm asking in Telugu. So he's not understanding the my language because he's a Canadian. So I'm asking in Telugu. So means as a Bangalore person, he knows Kannada. So as a Hyderabadi person, I know Telugu. So that is the main issue with language issue. So for the reason what I decided to means I got that kind of issue, but I expect that. So when I went to there, I don't know Kannada, so definitely I'll face this kind of issue. That is the reason I traveled along with the one person called translator. So while I'm traveling, I took this translator. This translator has known two languages. He knows Telugu as well as Kannada. Right. Then whatever I'm explaining in Telugu, he is explaining that to shop owner in Kannada. Then what the shop owner is explaining, again he is converting and he is explaining to me. Okay. Then I had her like 100 page, 200 page of this, all other. I'll explain this. Then the shop owner informed to the shopkeeper. So you can pack all these items. So but it is in a very bulk order. So the bulk order, such a kind of that much of stock is not available in a shop. So he suggested shopkeeper to go and get the stock from the godown. So go and get the stock from the godown and you can pack these all of the items. Then the shopkeeper went to the godown and he packed all the items. Then he handed over to us and we paid the money and we came back to the Hyderabad. So my transaction was done successful. Right. So same scenario. I'll now discuss as a technical. In a technical words, I'll discuss the same thing. Right. From here means mobile app. That mobile app maybe if it is an Android or it is an iOS or maybe it is a web application. Any application, any three apps, it is fine. Right. So now here let us say I'm writing the language in Kotlin. I'll send directly the Kotlin code. So the backend code they write in a PHP or it is in a Python or it is in a Java. So whatever I'm sending in Kotlin, that cannot be understandable by the backend language, right? So that's the reason here I'm using one mediator called API, that is the application program interface. API is nothing but application program interface. So when I'm sending the request into application program interface, this is the universal. So it can be understandable by anyone, means any platform here, like it will be Java, Kotlin, Python, PHP, whatever it is, it can be understandable. So then what will do. I'm sending in the form of API, right? So here, once it reaches to the backend server, like the server, that the API will convert into, let us say, Java. So then whatever the data I have requested here, right? Whatever the data I have requested here, that request will goes to the database. The Godan is nothing but a database because we are saving in the data into the database, right? So if the request will goes to the database, and from the database, whatever the data we have requested, that it will get the data back, and it will be give us to in the form of, means it will come the data in the form of Java. Then what the backend team will do, whatever the data they received, that they convert from Java to API format, and they can send us back to the in API format. Then what we will do here, whatever the API data which is coming here, that we will convert into our understandable language, that is Kotlin, or in case if you are an iOS in a Swift, if you are in a web application, let us say Angular, you can convert that into the Angular format and we can utilize that. So this is the mechanism is happening with the web service, right? This is the concept of web service, because like let us say I have a question. So why we need to use web service? I know uh, I know the database language, like I know MySQL, I know Oracle, I know SQL. Can I connect directly from mobile application to database? Yes, you can connect, but that is not a suggestible and that is not a proper architecture. Why? Because in case if I can connect here, I have done some query, I have get the data, that is well and good. In case in iOS, again the iOS people has to know that, and Android people also has to know. If they know, they can write okay, that is okay. But what happens here when I write web service, that web service is the common data. If any modifications as needed, once I made in a survey like the backend side, automatically it can be affected in every way. But if I write manually in every language, if any changes as needed, I used to go to Angular, I used to go to Android, I used to go to iOS, and then I have to modify the respective actions. And I supposed to upload that code into the there. Then once it is approved, then you will get the changes to the every. So that is a lengthy process, and that too, that is not a proper architecture, and that is not suggestible thing as well. So that is the reason main concern here. We have to do the small things here. So for that here, we supposed to do one thing here. So we use web services. So there are in a web services, there are different types of web services as there. So types of web services. The first type, it is the types of web services. So types of web services. So the types of web services is the first one, which is here, like the type the web service is here. That is the first type web service. So that is first one, which is REST, SOAP, DOM. Next, REST, SOAP, DOM, tags. So there are 4 or 5, and like even XML parts are also there. Like these are the 5 different services are there. But nowadays, everyone are following that is the REST, because REST is the proper and easy way. We can understand that that is the one. So that's the reason we are getting that proper understanding of that, so that we are understanding here that language that we are supposed to do. This is the one, that is the REST properties. So the REST API format is the format where we can get the proper data, so that easily we can user can understand that, and easily we can do that. And in this again, there are in a REST. So there are multiple these there. One is the get, post, put, and delete. So like these all are other formats also there. So there are other formats also there, like get, post, put this, but most of the cases we will use as the get or post, we will use in a majority of the cases. Some other cases we will use in a very rare cases, that we will use in a very rare cases, right? So here we'll use get, post, put, and delete as most of the cases we will use this, right? And after this, there is, we try to understand one more thing. So that is here we used to use the format of, that is the JSON format, so that these all the APIs we will read in the form of JSON. So JSON is nothing but that is the JavaScript. So JavaScript object notation. So this is the one we are using that JavaScript object notation. So why this is means, here JSON is the first benefit for this JSON is it is a lightweight and easy. Also, you can create your own tags, whatever the tags you can create. And here we will send only two formats of data. Either one is the object, and other is an array. So only two formats of data we will send. So how we need to send here? So let us say object. In case I want to send in a JSON object. So this curve brace indicates a JSON object. So I want to send a JSON object. In JSON object, I want to send one username. So this is the key. The first username is the key. This is the, after this key, here I want to send the value. So here value runs. This is the value. Like means here, how we need to write? This is the one in a, within a braces. The first one is the key, right? Key colon value. So here the, this is the value, key colon value. Let us say, for example, I have two keys. Like I want to send even my mobile number, my email ID also. Like here I can write the mobile. So after that colon, and here we used to write whatever the value, like just I mean like some random data like this, and comma, with separation of comma, how many values you want, that many values you can write. So this is the only, this is the format like here. So there is no proper like it should be integer value, it should be string value, like that. It should be, you can send this. Means the value could be any format, any data format you can send. Like it is a float value, integer value, or the string value, or the long, whatever the format you can send. Like in case if you want to send the data in the form of array. So array means this brace indicates array. So within this array, like here I have to send with separation of the comma again. So here we can send the multiple data, like here, see. Like this, we can send the multiple data. Means that keys and all will same. Like here I want to send like 100 members of data, 100 members of data, whatever you want the data, so that you can send these all of the data. This is the array. So simple, try to understand this JSON here. Now just let me open that JSON. So JSON. So simple here, you can see this JSON here. This is also a little complex. Like we'll open JSON in W3 school so that you can easily understand that. So that JSON and W3 school. Just it is a simple introduction. After that, no need of that. See, JSON stands for, it is the JavaScript object notation. The text format storing and transfer the data. Right. Cell, it has a cell with, just I told, right? Just it is a cell describe type. So this is the object. And the array, here it is not defined array. That is like these are the things you need to remember. Right. Then it is fine. Now I have an actual question. Right. So we discussed, so like okay, we can write whatever the programs you want to communicate to the server, that I supposed to write with the API format. But who will provide the APIs for us? So in every company, there is a front end and back end team is available. Like who are dealing with the backend API layer, means who are dealing with the database related queries and the APIs development. So those people will give an API document. So like depends on this. How we will give the APIs means, some of the people, some of the companies, they will prepare a document and they will give a document. Some of the people will use the Swagger, and some of the people will use the Postman. Majority of the cases, the people will use the Postman. So Postman is a simple tool where we can check the this. Means how we need to check that. So in a postman, like for example, in a postman, how to check. So there is a postman, there is an option here. Now I'm opening here the postman, the postman.com. In a postman.com here, see here, if you want to download for your PC, you can download also. Like for example, if you want to download that postman, so you can type here postman download. So just by clicking this here, now you can install on your system. Like if in case if you are in a Windows, you can install Windows version. If you are in a Linux, you can install Linux version. If you are in a Mac, you can install the Mac version. See from here, download. Like here, see it is automatically this identified my this, so it is like this. You can install. Like for example, I don't want to install. I want to check in online. So whenever you want to check in online, you should log in with some of your Gmail ID. Once you can log in with your some of Gmail ID, here I have already created a one workspace. So here the workspace I have created here. So on the workspace here, now I have added here see in a workspace there is some APIs. So that APIs we will see how the APIs are here now. So just by opening the API. So in this, there are 3 to 4 inputs. Like one is the login, registration, and we get the data. So one by one, API. Right? But first of all, here now, like what I explained, those like in get post, right? So that will be this is the collected URL. So like for example, if you want to add new API, here by clicking like here, click, you can add here. So while adding the API, here now this is the method like get, post, put, patch, delete. These all are like you can use majority of the get that. So sometimes like so like here whatever the API we supposed to set here, that is post. So this is the URL. See, this is the android.com. This is my website. In my website, then I have written this. And here, this is the request. It is the body. The body is the raw data. Like sometimes it is using raw data as well. The raw data is here. So in this raw data, see, username, password, email. So there are the 3 fields. Like I want to test me. If I want to test here, internet should be present here. See, once I'm sending to request here now, here it says the email application. If it is email, this, let us say I have added something in email. So it is saying that you are successful. Now I'm trying to pay. Means it is pay. So this is like this API. So whatever the API, now with this we can do in our this one page is done. Here we can log in with this. So whatever the registration has done here. Now with that, here this is the username and password. Here like this. So this API will work. So for that here now, here in the next couple of days, like next 4 to 5 days, we are going to discuss main and important thing. So first one, what I'm going to do here is I'll tell you the next plans here. First, using the this, we are going to do the registration using API. Then next login. After that, splash screen. Like what is concept is I'll explain you later. Splash screen. Then animation. After that, session management by using the concept called shared preferences. So after that, in case no internet, how to handle the data. So no internet, how to handle the data. Then after that, next step here is this is the get some data. So means whatever the previously we done recycler view with static data, this time we will do that with the dynamic data, how to handle the dynamic data using the Postman, like using the API. So those are the things we will do in a single project so that we will get to the full scope, how we need to implement real-time project in that way we can get the scope of this. So these are our next. So here till this API it is clear. The next class, just we will create one project here, then we will see the next here. So for that here now, I'm creating one new project. So that is MTB's activity. And here I'm using the on your name, I'm creating the project Sagarika project. So that will be here. Right. So one more thing here, I forgot here, even this, whatever the components I'm using, that I'll use material design components. So all the UI, I'll use the material so that we can get to know the scope of the material design also, how we are getting that. Okay. So with this, I'm closing the session for today. And in next session, we will start actual programs into this exactly program will start. Right, hope it is clear. We will see next class with the example.